God, I guess I'm gonna do this. Let's see what this is about. Okay.
Oh, perfect timing,
You better
Yagami-san.
go now?
And here I was about to go without you. Are you ready to visit Mamia-san?
We're just going? Fuck it.
Remember, we're speaking to a victim here, Yagami-san. One whose assailant we defended in court. If we had tried to make an appointment, she probably would have declined outright.
Not sure showing up unannounced is much better, so let's just hope she's willing to talk.
Yes, there's no way around it. It's a risk we had to take.
Well, here goes nothing.
Yes?
I'm Shirasaki from the Genda Law Office, the attorney for Mr. Akihiro Ehara. You may remember me from the hearings.
Why are you here? Don't you know it's rude to show up at someone's door uninvited?
I understand, but we have a pressing matter that directly concerns you. If we could do this another way, we would. I apologize for any inconvenience.
I'm sorry, but the trial's over and done with. You know I can legally turn you away.
You're right, but I'm only asking a moment of your time. Please, would you mind?
Even sorry I couldn't whip a solid approach for this. Are we really out of luck? I mean, she's keeping it professional though.
I don't have time for this. I'm going to have to ask you to leave.
Wait, before you do that. Sorry to butt in. I'm Yagami, a detective helping Saori here out.
And?
I can't let this be the end. I need to talk her into the open the door somehow. Sweet talker, emphasize and make it sound quick and simple. Sweet talker. Empathize with her. I mean, if we empathize with her, see like we're more on her side. She already made it quick and sound like a quick and simple. I don't know, just empathize with her.
Are you aware of the trending video that's leading people to believe Ehara committed murder? Thing is, the victim was confirmed to be alive in Yokohama until the morning of your own incident. And since Ehara was on the train with you, they're ruling him out as a murder suspect.
So, what is it you're getting at?
Just trying to ensure you're in the clear from any of that unfortunate business. If we could do this now, we'd never bother you again. All we need is 10 minutes of your time.
How absurd.
We're only trying to help, but if later would work better for you, we could always come back another time. With our supervisor, of course.
Okay, Yagami.
That visit would probably be more formal. There'd be paperwork, audio tapes, you know the drill. You'll want to clear your schedule.
I really don't have time for any of that.
No, I understand, and it's entirely our fault. We thought we'd do this casually, but we really should have been more by the book.
Okay, Yagami.
But it is a murder case, so we do have to make sure our paperwork is in order here. Now, would you prefer to schedule a date to accommodate a more formal interview?
You said 10 minutes if we do it now, right?
We'll make it as painless as possible.
Got her, Yagami.
All right. Hold on.
We really do appreciate it.
Well, I'm impressed. I'm also not sure I should trust a word you say ever again.
Really? I did get us in the door, didn't I?
I'm joking. I do appreciate the help.
I got you, Gail.
Now let's not screw this up. This is likely the only conversation we'll have with Mamia-san.
I got this. I am a professional detective. Of course, her son. Move!
Hi there.
Hi. Again, we apologize for the intrusion.
Let's just get this over with already.
Okay, she got her own freaking introduction. Victim.
Okay, bye-bye.
Alright, kid.
We'll make this quick.
Don't be like those fucking high school students, or we'll come and beat your ass. Okay, he did.
So, talk. I've already told the police and the court everything they could want to know about that morning.
I'm sorry to put you through this again, but would you mind going over those details with us?
What else is left to discuss?
I understand how pressured you might feel.
I've gone over this so many times. I wonder if pressing charges was even worth it.
No, what you did was both brave and inspirational. Many victims are afraid to come forward for any number of reasons. Your voice might give them courage to find their own.
Ironic. Hearing this from that predator's defense team.
Well, perhaps.
Would you mind walking us through that day from the beginning?
It's nothing so mysterious. I was just on my way to work when some man grabbed my butt. That's all it was.
Nothing else was out of the ordinary that day?
Correct.
Not to pry, but where is your husband today?
Still at work? He usually doesn't get home until later. On that note, I have to feed my son, so let's get this wrapped up soon.
I said 10 minutes, ma'am.
We'll try our best to. Moving along. On that day, you and Ahara-san boarded the train bound for Ikebukuro, correct? Had you ever seen the man before then?
No. At least not that I can recall. How many times must I go over this? Your lawyer friend here already knows everything I have to say. What do you gain by getting me to repeat things?
That's the thing. Yagami-san here is a specialist.
Exactly.
He can take whatever you repeat, analyze it, and draw up an entirely new conclusion.
Tell her, sorry.
Right?
By expression,
Of course. That's exactly why I'm here.
voice. Right now the press is really on. Seems to be a recurring thing lately. They gotta put the pressure on these women, brother. Can't see his face.
In the security footage as you stepped onto the train, it looks like Ahara-san stepped right behind you.
Yeah, why did he just skip ahead?
Were you aware of his presence at this point?
I
No.
was.
Oh,
It felt like someone kept pushing up against me with no sense of personal boundaries. I remember second-guessing myself at the time, thinking it was normal for the train to be that packed.
Then the train took off while you were stuck in that situation.
Yes. And then I felt the back of his hand against me. It kept getting worse from there, to the point where he went under my skirt. And the pig had the nerve to write it off as an accidental brush on a crowded train. But that kind of touch
Well.
wasn't accidental. He even grabbed at me.
yeah, I heard.
Truly awful. And I do sympathize. I've also had to turn in an abuser like that. Personally speaking, some men can't wait to debase themselves at the first opportunity.
Why would you say that and look at me?
Exactly, why?
I just stood there, frozen. I couldn't see who was touching me. I had no idea what to do. I wanted to scream. But what if he just played it off? So I decided I would bear it till the next station.
Are you okay, Mommy?
I'm fine, sweetie. We're just having a bit of grown-up talk. Are you hungry?
Uh-huh.
Then go read your book and wait over there for Mommy. We're almost done.
You mean he played it off? Even if he touched your ass, you wouldn't have to gun that fucking far. It's like he's going to be ending soon, no matter what. I should keep my questions brief. Dude, you could have been in that though. After ass grab, you should have screamed or some shit like, "I grabbed my ass." Like most women can get away with that scene at any time, anyways, and they'll blame it on the male being a pervert. I guess it's different in Japan, but usually if a guy's accused of being a pervert or some shit, they'll believe the woman first over the guy. I'm not convinced. I don't know. Maybe that's a Japan thing where they believe the man over anything first. Alright, man, move. Walked away. That wasn't that fucking packed to just squeeze through some people. Like it's gonna be ending soon, no matter what. I keep my question. It's just me, I guess, man. It's just me. I guess I'm just that different. What's it now? Having that contradiction between Mamia account and the security footage.
You said the abuse lasted the entire 6 minutes between Ikebukuro and Shinjuku Station. Did you see the groper's face at any time during that span?
No. I was too terrified to look.
Uh-huh.
And I thought, even if I did, he'd just pull away and escape.
And that packed train that
But
you couldn't
just
move
as the
in.
train was pulling into Shinjuku, I reached back and grabbed the hand on me. That's when I saw his face. Of course, he shook me off as the doors opened, but I'd already gotten a clear look at him. He must have known I could turn him in at that point. So he ran, and I chased after.
Right. That was captured by the station's security cameras.
Great job tailing him in such a crowded space. On that note, Did you ever happen to lose sight of Ahara-san while running?
His cat was pretty easy to spot, and no one else was bolting off the platform like that, so I never lost sight of him. At that point, I could feel my voice returning, so I just screamed. That man grabbed me!
I'm glad there were good Samaritans nearby.
For sure. And there were a lot of smartphones out, so I figured there was no way for him to get away with it. I was so relieved.
I see. I think I've got the gist of it. But now we've got a piece of evidence that contradicts what you've told us.
What?
What do you mean?
Had you seen his face? My stories lines up with the testimony from the trial, but there's one thing that it contradicts.
Well, on the same day, at
Okay.
6:30 a.m. in Yokohama, a student teacher named Hiro Mikoshiba was sent off to work by his mother. But he was soon abducted near his home, only to be found dead much later in Ijincho.
Is that...
According to the video, Ahara-san here is the murderer.
what?
He killed Mikoshiba in cold blood to get vengeance for his bullied son. His kid was about to graduate high school, but instead, he took his own life. So Ahara took it upon himself to punish his son's tormentor.
That's awful.
But now we come back to the issue here. If this footage is authentic, then Ahara-san couldn't have been your assailant. The victim's estimated time of death and Ahara-san's time of arrival in Tokyo simply don't allow for it. It's just not possible for someone to make that commute. But there's the flip side. If Ahara-san was in fact your assailant, it would mean this murder footage is a fabrication.
I don't know what you expect me to say after all this.
Right? Now you know how we're feeling. That's why we came to see if you had any leads for us.
Oh, okay.
So that's what this is about.
After hearing your story, I have no doubt you endured a lot that day. Which would obviously mean that murder video was faked.
Then, who shared that video? And why?
Wish I knew. Based on the quality, something this convincing would need quite a budget.
Facts.
Whether it's CG on top of real murder footage, or just a rock-solid AI creation, no way it was cheap. So why go through all this effort to fake a murder? Who would benefit from it? But I have to say, I feel much closer to piecing this puzzle together with your help today. Thank you very much for your time.
Why show it to the world?
Yes, and rest assured, this will be the last time you see us. Our apologies for the unexpected visit. And for dredging up unpleasant memories.
It's fine. So long as this is really the end of it all.
But is it though?
So, the victim's story is completely in line with her court testimony, huh?
That's correct. There wasn't anything new to pick up.
Unfortunately.
In which case, should we look into the murder video instead? Like, figure out how they made it?
Let's not get ahead of ourselves here. Whether that tape's fake or real, someone had to put it online, right?
True.
Do we have any theories on who that might be?
Yo, with
Well,
the
the
glasses,
footage
mate.
showed enough of the surroundings to make the crime scene clear. As somebody who's been there, I can confirm that the blood splotches match what you see in the footage. Which means
That we already knew that.
the murderer's accomplices have to be the ones who posted it for him.
Yeah, I can't see it any other way.
I also agree with Yagami-san.
But in that case, what would their motive be?
I do not know.
Maybe they wanted to make a mockery of the police, or even the whole system.
True.
Huh?
We know Ihara got himself convicted for groping, so he'd have an alibi for Mikoshiba's
I
killing.
want to show how easy it is.
But then,
Oh,
his conspirators turned it around by uploading the murder video online.
like you said, it's broken.
Almost as if to say, look how he got away with it.
Oh, I see what he's
I
saying.
see. Yeah, that does make it sound like he's taunting them.
Like he was saying, it's broken. He's
That's well and good, but I'd like to shift gears.
go get
Let's talk about the actual fabrication of the video. How does one go about that?
Well, for example, the true culprit would be taped murdering Mikoshiba. Then Ihara's face would be copied and blended onto the killers. That's how they'd approach it in a Hollywood movie.
But then, wouldn't you be able to see traces of it being faked?
Depends how good it is.
Tsukumo-san reported that he's found nothing of the sort in his analysis.
We've been down this road before. If we take the stance that the footage is fabricated, we have absolutely nothing to work with.
Then let's tackle this from the stance that the video's actually real. If that's the case, there has to be a flaw in the groping issue. I think we've collected enough evidence to find it too.
Before meeting with Yui Mamia, didn't you mention the possibility of Ihara using a stand-in?
I was thinking that too.
Perhaps the real Ihara murdered Mikoshiba in Ijincho, then swapped places with the imposter so he could be detained.
But we couldn't find an opportunity for the swap to happen, remember?
The
From
blind
the
spot.
moment he set foot on the Ikebukuro platform, Ihara was constantly on camera.
But wait, that's not entirely accurate, is it?
No.
Huh?
Other one is constant on camera between Incubus and the proof is the blind spot. He probably
Remember
just...
how we mocked up a diagram of the Shinjuku station platform?
Yeah. Oh, wait! That's it! You could be onto something. There's a point where Ihara wasn't on camera at all.
What is this point you speak of?
Let's
We
all
choke
go
you,
over the
bro.
diagram so that everything will be clear. Here's what I want you to see.
The blind spot. Like, he could have just been.
Suspicious.
He could have been waiting there the whole time. It's the spot I'm looking for. He could have been sitting there the whole time.
It's very brief, but there's a moment where Ihara and Mamia-san can't be seen by the security cameras. The dotted lines on the arrow represent the camera's blind spot.
That's a train doorway
It
too.
does appear so. So you're saying this is where the groper, the fake Ihara, traded places with the real one?
Can't say it's impossible, right?
Exactly.
Right. Except if that actually happened, Mamia-san would have been right behind them at the time.
He tripped though.
Could the two really swap places without her noticing?
In a crowd like that, I think it's feasible.
I mean, it's kind of
If
stuff.
that really was Ihara's plan, then I'd say he was being careless.
Careless? How?
True.
Well, on the day of the incident, the station was packed for morning rush hour.
You are true.
That means there was no solid guarantee the assailant could make the switch. He could have been nailed by any random passerby before reaching the blind spot.
Unless he was
Good
already
point.
there.
Not only that, if Mamia-san had called for help while the train was still moving, then the first Ihara would have been caught before even reaching the platform.
That's what I'm saying. So why didn't he been say nothing?
Called it.
Think about it, Yagami-san. Why would Ihara's accomplices meticulously plan out every last detail of this alibi, only to leave such a crucial component to chance, as Hoshino-kun pointed out?
Oh, just doing my job.
True. Good work, Hoshino-kun. In fact, I think that may back up my own take on it.
Yeah?
What if everything, including the appearance of leaving the plan to chance, was part of the plan?
Can you expound on that?
I'm saying I agree that such an airtight alibi wouldn't have allowed for contingencies. And that takes the question to another level. Just how far did they line up the pieces in advance to make the swap work?
Are you saying there's more to it than we discussed? What did we miss?
You missed everything. Me and y'all could be on a different plane. Is everything on the database, including the trade groping, was planned from the start to finish? What else could it possibly do? That's what I'm saying, bro. She seemed nervous. I just don't think, like you said, like she could have screamed. Why didn't she scream? Tell me she was just paralyzed with fear. Move. But you wasn't paralyzed with fear. It took you 6 minutes to overcome. I guess, man, it takes that long. A man just grabbing on your pussy, just rubbing it up all up your booty. Gonna take forever. I would have been said something. If I'm uncomfortable, I don't care how. I'm a quiet guy. I don't care. I don't care how I am. I'm saying something, dude. Like, what the hell? I just don't feel like that shit is right, man. I would have said something. I don't care how shy you are. I would not just let somebody touch me in my private uncomfortably for 6 minutes, just rubbing me and just, yeah, you like that? Yeah. I feel like even a shy girl try to fight back if it's something that she don't really want. Like, man, I guess it's just me, man. I guess I'm just a dickhead or something. I'm sorry, man. I don't give a fuck, man.
I know this won't go over well, but what if Mamia was colluding with Ihara all along?
Huh?
Bear with me. Let's say Mamia was in on this, and knew about the imposter in advance.
You see how you just skipped to her?
If that's the case, the swap could happen right in front of her, and no one but the three of them would know.
You're saying the victim of a groping conspired with her assailant beforehand? That's ridiculous.
But it's possible, Sari-chan. I'm not suggesting I'm fond of, but I have to consider the possibility of Mamia still playing a part in conspiracy.
Let me just say, I'm only trying to work out how a swap like that would be guaranteed to work.
True.
Now, if Ahara and his stand-in both know that Mamia will pretend not to have seen them, they can trade places in the blind spot with impunity. Conversely, if Mamia wasn't in on the plan, the idea of a swap would never work. We can say with certainty that she would have seen the swaps.
Why did man duck the camera for? Why did he do
She
that?
could have even called attention to the real Ahara the moment he stepped in. That way, the people around her would be focused on chasing the correct assailant.
Did my man sneeze or something? Why did he do the camera like that?
They caught Ahara and detained him until the police showed up.
Hold that thought. If your theory is accurate, what about Ahara's trace evidence? Remember that fibers of the victim's underwear
He
were
could have
detected
gave
on
him
his
the
hand.
underwear.
Well, that can also be explained by Mamia
Exactly.
being
She
in.
could have gave it to him.
For example, while the stand-in was showing himself at the security cameras, Mamia could have easily provided Ahara access to a pair of underwear at
That's
the same
what
time.
I'm saying, bro.
Maybe the stand-in loitered around for so long because he was letting everyone else get themselves in place.
It's not impossible.
But it's a.
We can work out the other details later. But the point is, Ihara's murder alibi is shot if Mamia was involved. In summary, it's possible Ihara disgraced himself to secure an unshakable alibi for Mikushiba's murder.
I'll concede that it's an avenue worth pursuing.
There you go.
And when it comes to the prosecution, they can't just admit they got the first case so wrong. Plus, they can't question Ihara about Mikushiba's murder. In fact, their only option is to claim the tape was faked.
So he managed to make a farce out of the system after all.
Exactly. That's what his goal too, right?
His court case for his son's bullying did get more or less thrown out, didn't it?
Exactly. Again, the
The
sensei.
school, the investigative committee, and the court all agreed there wasn't enough evidence to convict anyone. No surprise for me that the guy held a grudge against the system for so long.
Hold on. Before we all decide on this,
What's up?
the obvious question to me is why would Mamia be party to such a crime? She appears more than financially stable, and she's even raising a child. So why would she do something so enormously risky as helping establish a murder alibi?
Yeah, I haven't gotten that far yet. But maybe she was promised something that far exceeds the risk.
Exactly.
Or maybe Ahara has some kind of dirt on her even?
Enough to make her help with a murder? What sort of secret would be big enough to force someone into
He wouldn't
that?
know about this. He probably didn't tell him about the murder. 50-year-old patrolman, a married office worker, and a mother. Only connection between them so far is the train station itself.
What info do we have on Mamia anyway? Maybe we can spot a connection to Ahara through her profile.
I'll pull her information. Just a second.
Do it, Hashino-kun.
Oh, I just thought of something else those two would have guaranteed by working together.
What's that?
The kid thing?
If Ahara wanted to use this crime as a murder alibi, he needed it to blow up into the public eye. But if he had chosen a victim who stayed silent, then nothing would have come of it. A solid plan would need to eliminate that variable,
Exactly.
which means Mamia being an accomplice was crucial to Ahara's success.
That's true.
Come on,
Looks like
Genda.
Ahara pulled one over on the prosecution then. Had his accomplices right where he wanted them, even his victim.
Am I way
Once
off?
we learn how he's connected to Mamia, we can root out the rest of his team.
Let's see. According to her file, her maiden name is Yui Suzuki. 30 years old, so that's consistent. Originally from Ota, Tokyo. Attended a private high school called Kurakawa Academy. Later graduated from Toto University.
Huh.
Met her husband on the job, apparently. Her husband, Taichi Mamia, is an industrial designer at Techno Zeta Inc. 6 years ago, she gave birth to their only son, Sotakun, who's now in first grade.
Hold on. You said she went to Kurakawa
Yeah, that
Academy?
sounds Phileas.
I heard that name in Ijincho.
Them dudes from before.
If I recall correctly.
Them dudes from before. Wasn't I just at school? Isn't that Tsukumo graduated? Someone spying on me went there. Yep. I remember.
When I went to scope out the murder scene, there were these 3 guys watching the detectives and me. They told us they were just checking things out, but they mentioned they're Kurakawa grads too.
You have any ID on you? Will my license work?
Kake-san, age 30.
Akaike-san, age 30. Mommy is 30 as well.
Okay.
What's that got to do with it?
Exactly what that was.
Aren't we trying to find a connection between Mamia and Ohara?
I found the Kurokawa Academy website. Looks like they're pretty prestigious. It's in Tokyo, specifically in Ota. Pretty close to where Mamia lived. Oh,
What?
the girls there get such cute uniforms.
Shino.
You want to start all over from the bar exam?
Do it again there.
Wait, I've seen that uniform before too, actually.
What is it?
Where?
On an old picture of a teacher at Seiryo High. Sawa-sensei. Hara's son had confided in her.
I didn't even notice that.
Is she actually a Kurokawa grad too? I don't know Sawa-sensei's exact age, but she could well be 30. Maybe all of them were even classmates.
Could this mean they're actually linked? The victim and her up-to-now unrelated assailant?
It's a tenuous link at best. Could fall apart any time. But no true detective alive would pass it up.
We're gonna go see if she's a grad there. She didn't even say she just. This shit is getting intense, bro. That shit coming together, man. I'm sorry, I just had to say that. Like, it just, I was sorry. If it, like, I'm sorry about to get on my ass too. Like, you can't just say, like, I'm not saying that, but I would have been saying something, man. For 6 minutes, you know what could happen in that? That man could have just did it and walked away, and you wouldn't have known. The fact that he just stand there, and the fact that he sat there for 6 minutes too and did it, like, what do you get out of that? What do you get out of that, bro? You just grope and go. Wait, how long do most gropers sit there for? Like, they really just sit there until the victim says something? Why be that risky? You want to get caught at that point. And why would you even deny? You're just sitting there with hard evidence. You didn't just quick touch or some shit. You just do like a fast ass grab or some shit. You sat there and continuously did it around a bunch of people in public daylight. That just doesn't sound like what? I guess I'm just fucking just the rare occasion that like Elise will look or some shit. I don't know, man. This game getting crazy, man. So thumbs up this motherfucking shit, bro. Yeah, man, it's getting intense. So I'm just thinking like that, man. She gotta be in the comment. I'm saying like, yeah, she can go to pen. Like, how you explain it? She could have gave the pen. She's an accomplice. She could have gave him the pen. It's like, there you go, grab. Oh, I didn't touch her. Checked it. Exactly. And what did my man do with the camera? Like, why was he just set it up? He just ducked and like he just did this and then looked back over there where he's running. But they could have switched there. That's gotta mean something. What did my man sneeze? You can't just. Why did you just do the camera like this? What was that? What was that? So we couldn't see the switch? What was that? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. It's coming together for me though. I'm thinking, man. Maybe I'm just harsh right now. Maybe I'm just harsh with this. But yeah, those subscribe. Close to 1,000, man. I hope y'all enjoying the series, man. I'm loving this shit, bro. Even if it's not all about the fighting, just the intensity of me being a detective too about this mystery. Like some people love mystery, bro. I love mystery, honestly, bro. Sometimes it can get really intriguing and fucking intense like this, man. It's crazy, man. So yeah, that's all I gotta say. Notification bell. Check out Judgment 1 if you want. If you're just watching this one, man. Judgment 1 is goated to. No Yagami story why he's the best detective around, man. Detective mercenary talk. That's all I gotta say, man. Check out Yakuza 0 too, man. I'm going to kill your story as well. Hope y'all enjoy. Stay psyched.